Hi, my name's Reese from the Eastern Suburbs School of Music. Today teaching you the guitar solo from the Kiss song Saint and Sinner. It sounds like this. So let me break that down, teach you how to play it. Before we start, standard tuning for this one, so that means E, A, D, G, B, and E. We're also in E pentatonic, so we're up at the 12th fret. Using that, but using other notes as well. This is Vinnie Vincent playing the solo, and probably my favourite Vinnie solo in the Kiss catalogue. So, first of all, a bend at 15 on your second string. A whole tone bend if you haven't done string bends before. Click the little tab appearing above me now, or look in my video description. It'll take you to my lesson on how to do string bends properly. 15 on the second string, and at the same time 12th fret of first string, and then 12, 15 on the second string and bend that 15, and then 12 on first string, so you got bend, bend. The next bend is on 16, so in between your 15 and 17 you've got dots there to signal those frets. 16. Just a half step bend, so what you're trying to make your bend sound like is and then coming to rest at 15 on the second string. This part here, a unison bend, a bend at 17 on your third string, while you are also holding 15 on your second string. So very much a Chuck Berry lick. This solo though, massive Jeff Beck influence over this solo, so you can understand why Vinnie and Gene have hooked up on this track, because Gene's a massive Jeff Beck fan, so's Vinnie. Jeff Beck has written all over this solo. That's what I'm going to call phrase one. Pause this video now. When you're ready, let's move on to phrase number 2. Phrase number 2. So what he's simulating here, he's either doing it with a slide, or as I'm doing to overcome not using a slide during this solo. In the studio, of course, they could overdub. So I've set up my finger at 17 on the first string, the pinky. To simulate that slide sound, I've pre-bent 15 on the second string. And remember, this is Vinnie Vincent, so you're not going to get the simpler rock style playing of Ace. That 15 is pre-bent, return it. And then 14 on third string, 14 on fourth string. Very much all around the A chord. He's playing to the A chords. He's playing to the chords in this song. So the first phrase was over an E, on E7. Da, 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 da. That's over D. Start this phrase. Da, 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 A. Next part of the phrase. This is now all going to take place on first string. A bend and return at 16 on your first string. And just a half step bend. Then at 17, the dotted fret, a full step bend. "19, bend and return and play naturally, so "18 to 19. And I reckon he's doing vibrato with the whammy bar here. Unfortunately, before we went into lockdown here in Australia, I didn't grab the whammy bar for my Strat here. So I'm just making do with some vibrato, but if you've got a whammy bar, certainly use it. Or just shake the back of your trem unit to simulate some of that vibrato. So phrase number 2. Pause the video, take time to subscribe to my channel as well if you haven't already. We've almost hit 100 different Kiss guitar solo lessons for you to learn from, starting to hit up some mini ones like this one. Put phrase 1 and 2 together, pause the video, and when you're ready, let's look at phrase number 3. So phrase number 3, once again we're playing to the chords. It's an E chord, and he's using the notes out of the E bar chord, 7th fret of 5th string, and your bar chord shape. We don't need to hold the bar chord though. Once again, I think he's doing some bar vibrato. So that was 9, 9, 9, strings 4, 3, 2, 10. So just an arpeggio being the playing of the notes of the chord. Then essentially doing that an octave higher. An E chord. Think in the D chord shape. And if you took that 2 frets higher, D, D sharp, E. And if you then took that 12 frets higher, so we were at fret 16, 17, 16, you're getting the notes of this lick. And finishing on the 15 of your second string, because that's a part of the D chord that they've just landed on in the backing. And that same Chuck Berry lick that we saw in phrase number 1. So phrase number 3 is all played over, think in E chord shape. And remember, if none of this quite makes sense, feel free to leave a comment, a question on this particular video. Look me up on Facebook. We're all in lockdown. We're all in this together. If there's something you'd like to learn, please just look us up. I am doing online lessons for my students at our music school as well. We can do online lessons worldwide. If you're interested in learning some of this stuff or having one-on-one time with me, now's probably the time to look me up. That was phrase number 3. Hopefully you play it cleaner than I just did. Pause the video, and when you're ready, let's look at the end of this solo. So phrase number 4 starts off with this beautiful A major 7 arpeggio style lick. I'm at 16 on your first string, and doing that half step bend, we've come across that in phrase 2. 17 on second string, 14 on third string, and then repeating what we did at the end of phrase 2. Now he does some slight articulation differences, as in the way he bends and returns some notes might be different, but the phrase, this part, is the same. The big payoff though, because we can't have a Vinnie Vincent solo without bending at the highest fret on our guitar. I think every single solo I've figured out of his, he's done that. A half step bend at 21, followed up with a full bend at 22. So half and full. That's not the easiest thing of all time to pull off, especially because I've got heavier strings that I'd want on this guitar at the moment, but hey, lockdown, what can you do? That is phrase number 4, and therefore that is the whole solo. Just to finish that last bit, 21 half, 22 full. Not the easiest thing to do. Yeah. Have fun practicing that. Beautiful when you execute it though. And very typical of something Jeff Beck would do and what Vinny's taken from Jeff. All right, here's the whole Saint and Sinner solo, slowed down, played without distortion. I'll try and call out the phrase marks as I go along. So phrase 1. So there's phrase 1, A. Then phrase 3, the E's. Phrase 4, the A's. And the monster lick at the end. Got it. I wish I had 9s on this instead of 10.5s that I've got in here. That's how you play Saint and Sinner. As I said, if you've got any questions, comments, or a request, please leave them here. I'll get around to answering them as soon as possible. I'm doing online lessons at the moment. Feel free to look me up. My name is Reese Lett. You'll see it in the description. If you'd like an online lesson with me, I'd be happy to do it at this time, because having stage 4 cancer, I'm staying home and locked up at home. Subscribe to our channel, and good luck with your own playing of Saint and Sinner by Kiss. What a monster solo from Vinnie Vincent.